Okay. Very kind of you.
I'm interested. So, it's better if I speak in English or in Italian, because I have to make a question to... No, I don't know, because I speak in English because I hope to understand people. Okay. No. Ok. E su questo progetto di cammino mi interesserebbe molto, ma in generale per quanto riguarda l'inclusione nei musei, la questione dei questionari, perdonate il bisticcio. I questionari di gradimento della visita, del potenziale, cioè del visitatore. Nel caso per esempio di persone con disabilità o accompagnatori di persone con disabilità, nel questionario a mio avviso dovrebbe essere presa in considerazione anche la possibilità che la persona non è in grado di compilare questo questionario, quindi non è nemmeno in grado di dare, come dire, un giudizio sulla visita e sull'inclusività del museo. Ecco, in questo senso si sta studiando adesso, andando al di là, per esempio, delle leggi sulla questione della privacy, o anche sul fatto che, per esempio, il visitatore stesso potrebbe avere quasi vergogna, tra virgolette, di mettersi, per esempio, penso alla persona anziana che deambula male, la donna incinta che ha problemi, di essere messa in quella categoria di persone, perché comunque siamo in una cultura che ancora adesso stigmatizza la disabilità e quindi nessuno dei, sempre tra virgolette, sani vuole sentirsi parte di quella categoria. Ecco, in questo senso, se c'è questa sensibilità sui questionari.
Yes, we were considering it, we were thinking about it. We didn't go in detail for everything, but for example, when you will get the guidelines, when you read the guidelines, you will see that for the output that we say it's important to get especially from this target group, because we are not so sure about it if we are accessible to get feedback. So it's foreseen that also for the feedback, for the survey on satisfaction, that you consider how to invite people with all kinds of disabilities to tell if it was accessible for them. I just want to say another point, because it came a little bit too short in my presentation. We are really trying to focus on all kinds of disabilities. So we are also considering people with mental health issues, with diagnoses like autism or with depressions or so on. So we try to cover the whole range, and also for the tools, the whole range, as you already mentioned. Does it answer your question?
If I can add, I don't know if there will be standard feedback forms made by the CAMI initiative itself, but in the service chain recommendation we have one step that we added to the original one where it was not present, which is the collection of the feedback and elaboration of this feedback for ameliorating purposes. So this is in some way up to each museum on the basis of what they already do or want to do to go further or not on this side. But maybe this can be an interesting suggestion to improve the handbook with some hint about how to build and to manage an effective feedback from the disadvantaged categories, let's say.
Yes, more questions or recommendations. So this feedback questionnaire is under work at the moment, so it hasn't been presented yet. But of course it's very difficult to identify the target group, or do we really want to identify the target groups? Am I a target group? I'm almost 60. So am I considered as a person with a disability? Because I'm old, I don't feel like it. And I think it affects many people, so we can't judge who is disabled. We only can judge whether there are barriers or not. So this is what's all about. This brings us to the point of Gilberto. There was a question.
Io volevo chiedere, perché poi non si è soffermato nel dettaglio, sulla formazione che avete fatto per gli operatori all'interno del museo, i vari step, non li ho ben colti. E poi volevo anche aggiungere due cose, non ho sentito bene la traduzione della vostra risposta al questionario. I gruppi con cui avete fatto già dei percorsi all'interno dei musei sono dei gruppi strutturati, quindi con dei disabili che provenivano quindi accompagnati, sono disabili autonomi con il familiare, perché a mio avviso il sistema di questionario o di valutazione è un po' diverso, no? Quindi, ad esempio, se viene fatta una visita, un percorso, un progetto con un gruppo che magari è accompagnato da degli educatori o da degli operatori, in quel caso chi conosce il gruppo, quindi le persone con disabilità, possono comunque dare un feedback, però sono loro che valutano, no? Però non ho sentito la risposta, quindi...
The training program of the Coming Initiative is a training program targeted to the museum operators and to those who accompany the groups, not directly targeting the final users. So this, I don't know why it's not. These modules have been developed and are under testing, but are delivered, let's say, to the museum operators of various kinds, depending on the module. And so we have a feedback here, but it's a traditional feedback, because the training program users are the museum operators, not the final users they will serve in the service chain.
No.
It's okay?
No, l'avevo capito questo, erano due cose diverse. Volevo capire come avevate strutturato proprio la formazione per gli operatori, nel dettaglio però.
Every museum normally has different needs, so we just give for each of these, we suggest this approach. Sorry. You can.
Can you repeat the question?
Okay. The question is how we organize this thing in practical terms. So within this project, we have more or less 2 days available, and so the 2 days and a half, and so we, together with the museum direction of each of the museums, we will identify the participants and organize a kind of seminar sessions which will last 2 days or 3, which is a very short time if we consider all the teams we are going to treat, but it's just a kick-off, let's say, for a museum where these issues have never been touched. If the museum is already, like the Slovenian museums, advanced on this level, they can rearrange in any case such structure for a higher level, depending on the experts you call. So it's a very flexible structure. It's not a fixed curriculum with fixed contents that you must follow. For example, if I'm not wrong, here in Udine, the service change thing was not so focused on, because the kind of experts coming were focusing on other elements, and because in this museum that kind of knowledge was already owned by the staff. One issue, and then I will close, was should I have to involve also people not working in the museum but accompanying groups here. This could be in other piloting activities one issue that we can work out. So open those training sessions or close them just to the museum employees.